Do we have that adjusted right? Okay. I think it looks okay. Oh, good. Water. Good morning. Angela's here. First one here. Hi, Sri. Hi, Visor VF. Hi, Elena. Hi, Editing Lace. Good morning. Good morning, Lily. Good morning, Steph. Hey, Karen, Daniel, Danny, Axper plays. Erica. Hey, Daniel. Moonlight Creator. Hi, Pizza Man. Yes, Timmy.
Help me.
What do you need help with?
I can't put this guy on.
Here, give it to me. Hi, Blake. Hi, Cartoon Song. Will you be watching the Dhar Mann feature film? I thought it was coming out Tuesday, but somebody else told me. Hi, Nature. Somebody else told me it might be coming out tomorrow. What do you guys know about it? Where's it supposed to go? Where's it supposed to go? I don't think these go together. What do you want me to do with this? Put it on his head? There's no... Oh, on his hand. Oh, okay. I'm helping Timmy with his toy. Oh, he's supposed to be holding it? Like it's an award or something? Yeah. Okay. Hi, Orly. Oh, there you... Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop.
Wait, that's mine. That's mine. Okay, go back.
Oh. No. Whoops. Hey, Steph. Okay. No. Hey, A, Planting. Hey, Isaac.
Mom,
hey, Lily.
Did
you bump your head?
Yeah.
You got a little knot there.
Mama.
Okay, Daniel. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, Amber.
Mommy.
Hey, VS. What, Timmy?
Can you take the Moonblock's toy?
This is Timmy's toy. You give that back to Timmy. Okay, you guys work it out. You guys work it out. Okay. Oh, Saudi Arabia. Hi. What time? What time is it in Saudi Arabia? Elena says hi, Eli. Okay. All right. Thank you, Santa. Eli, why don't you go get a different toy, sweetheart? Oh, yikes. Careful. Now it's time for Timmy and Eli hour. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, hi, Danny. London,
Eli,
UK.
look.
Okay, guys, can you do this in the living room?
Eli, look.
It's 2 a.m. in Australia. It's 4:07 p.m. Editing Lakes, where are you that it's 4 in the afternoon? It's 8 in the morning here in, where am I? California, United States. Ella Rose, Dhar Mann's daughter, tutu dress is one of the dresses from Tutu. Okay, yeah. In Sex with Chaz. Do you remember me? I do remember that name. Don't ask me about remembering any conversations we might have had. Oh, okay, in the UK. Gotcha, Editing Lakes. Okay, so the topic today, what if you don't have a very important job? What if you feel like there's nothing that great or special about your life or your calling? Have any of you ever felt like that? Anyone? What if you don't feel like you have an important life mission or a job that matters? Steph says all jobs are important. Yes. Have you ever heard that saying that says even if you're a street sweeper, you do it with all your heart or you do it as unto the Lord? So I'm just going to read you a little something on that topic about, it's just 2 lines. So it's from Poems with Power to Strengthen the Soul. And it says, find out what God would have you do and do that little well. For what is great and what is small, 'tis only He can tell. So what does that mean to you? Find out what God would have you do and do that little well. For what is great and what is small, 'tis only He can tell. seems to suggest to me that we don't even know if what we're doing is going to be great or a big deal, or it's going to be nothing, or it's going to be important, it's going to be not. Via says, treat the janitor the same respect as the CEO. Yeah. Hey, Angel. So you don't know if sometimes we don't even know if our job is important. We may think, well, I'm just a cashier at the grocery store. But you don't know if you're a cashier at the grocery store, you don't know if that person waiting in line with a steak and a bottle of wine has determined that today is going to be their last day on earth. And they came to the store only to get their favorite meal. And they feel...
I got my own toys.
Good job. And they feel so empty and so alone. They don't feel like they have anybody. No one's been kind to them. And you work in the checkout line. You take the time to put your head up from just scanning the groceries, and you look them in the eye and say, how are you doing today? Oh, I like your hat, or whatever it is. And you talk to them and you acknowledge them. They may have said, if nobody acknowledges me, no, everybody acts like I'm invisible. Tonight, I'm going to make my favorite meal, and then it's over. I'm done. You don't know the difference you're making. You know, when I was working in a factory on an assembly line, it was like, I'm just another cog, and the people in front of me, they put their parts in the thing. It rolls down to me, then I put my parts in the thing. It rolls down to someone else and puts their parts in the thing. But if I didn't do my job with excellence, you know, the computer circuit boards that would go in the semi-trucks, would the semi-truck have failed? Would the semi have gone and hit somebody who was supposed to be the next president? Or would it have killed somebody who may have come up with a cure for cancer? You don't know, you don't realize how everything you do is important and how interconnected it is to calling and purpose. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the most famous preacher in America who ever lived. His name was Billy Graham, and he preached all over the world. He told people about God all over the world, and there was millions who came to the Lord because of him. But you know what people don't think of or don't talk of very much is who's the person that told Billy Graham about the Lord. So maybe you feel like, oh, what I have to do isn't that important, or I'm just a janitor, or I'm just this, or I'm just that, or you don't know what difference you're making and who you're making that difference to. You know, how many school teachers that work this thankless job, bye, have a good night or good day, who work a thankless job think, oh, these kids they just torture me. They just throw wads of paper at me. They don't respect me. But the seeds you're planting, that there's going to be people that make a difference that maybe they're too shy to tell you the difference you've made. They go on to do great things in their life, and they did it because of you and your example and your encouragement and your taking an interest in them. So whatever you do it with all your heart. There are no great jobs and no small jobs. Find out what God would have you do and do that little well. It doesn't say do that big thing well. It doesn't say do that ginormous, fancy, famous job well. It says do that little well. For what is great and what is small, 'tis only He can tell. You know, you never know the lives you're going to impact. And I think when we get to heaven one day, we're going to be shocked at the number of people who might be there because of something we did and something we said. Okay, shoot me some questions. Steph, tell me about that. She said she had a classic example of that last week with a client. Can you reiterate a little of that? Okay, if you can figure out your calling, then go to the one who called you in the first place. Yeah, if you don't know what you're supposed to do with your life, Go, seek God out. He'll tell you. Lily, I don't know. Don't know the answer to that question. You have a wide variety of interests. And I don't know all the things you're interested in. Jobs like janitors should not be neglected. No. What if you went somewhere and the trash was overflowing, and the floor was slippery, and you fell? And hey, Roblox and Beyond fan, why do CEOs tend to be treated nicer than janitors? Simple. Book of 1 Samuel talks about that. Because men judge by outward appearance, and God judges by the heart. And when I say men, I just mean mankind. That's men and women. We all judge by outer appearance. We all judge by what we see at first glance, because that's, it's not necessarily a bad thing to, it's just kind of a default we have. We judge by like what it looks on the outside because, we have to make a quick decision or assessment, or sometimes it helps us sort out in our mind how things should be. It's not that we're always trying to be. Okay, what's Steph say? The one that I gave to my classmate and my classmate didn't show up. Yeah, you left me a voice message about that. The client messaged me and told me she would be my personal client because of how I handled the situation. Good job on that. Yeah, kindness goes so far. You never know the kind of day someone is having. They could be having the most horrendous day, and a kind word from you or a smile might just make all the difference. Maybe I've shared this poem with you guys before. It was one I learned when I was a teenager, but I just love it. It just reminds me of what we're talking about. How does it go? I'll tell you when I remember it. It's on topic. I'm like, I had it for a second, and then I went, boo, then it went away. Oh, here it is. You never know when someone might catch a dream from you. You never know when a little word or something you might do may open up the window of a mind that seeks the light. The way you live may not matter at all, but you never know, it might. And just in case, it could be that another's life through you might possibly change for the better with a broader and brighter view. It seems it might be worth a try at pointing the way to the right. Of course, it may never matter at all, but you never know, it might. Blake says, the kindness you put out in the world has a way of coming back at you. Yes. A.A. Planton, you're back. Okay, morning. Oh, Mona's here. Hey, hey. Why did Tina, the soccer mom, think that Samantha's job was not worthy? Because some people in the world think they're better than you based on what they do for a living. She clearly was not judging by God's standards, was she? I think the people that look down on others, I think they're really just not happy with themselves. If you really think about it, those who are most critical of others probably lead a pretty tormented life. They're probably the ones that are most critical about themselves. Blake asks, has Dar ever joined a live stream? I don't know. I found out that people can be on here watching, and I don't really know unless they comment. Hey, Mariel. So, I don't know if he has gone on here. I've never seen him mention anything. He used to do live streams. I don't know if he still does. He used to do them on Facebook quite a bit. Hey, Top Dog. Katherine, the dog grooming experiment you did made me cry. Aw, thank you. That was a hard day. I'm not used to, obviously, being out on the street and begging people for money. That was I was worried about that. And then I was like, gosh, I hope nobody I know comes and sees me on the street begging for money. I would have just have to tell him I'm doing a secret camera thing. Okay. Demetrius is here. Hey, hey. Okay, if you put in a question early on when I was talking on another subject, put it in again so I can answer it. I don't mean to not get to them, but sometimes if I'm talking about something else, I don't always see them. I have to leave in some time. I will watch the whole vid tomorrow. Okay, Sri. Does Shantae have a YouTube channel? I don't know. I don't know. Have you tried typing in her name on YouTube and see what comes up? That might work. Okay. What questions have I missed? Of course you're going to graduate, Steph. Don't fear. Have no fear. You've done your best. Let God take care of the rest. I'd love to be in Dhar Mann, but unfortunately I don't live in LA. My parents say it's dangerous. There are some dangerous parts, but honestly, there's dangerous parts anywhere you live. I don't think there's, I mean, at one point Burbank was rated like the #1 safe place in like Los Angeles, maybe even in California, I don't know. And at Burbank is actually where our studio is. So what are you going to say about that? They might be 2 or 3 on the list now, but there was a few years where they were #1. And I understand, Blake. My parents were worried about me moving here too. Katherine, do you have any Dhar Mann tea to spill? Will you be in any more in the future? I shot one last week. And I'm shooting one next week. And I'm going to be in the feature film they're putting out. Did you see the most recent Dhar Mann video with Ayden Mekus? Which one was that? I don't know. I'm like a week behind. I usually watch all of them on Sundays that came out the previous week. I did miss 1 or 2 of the Halloween ones because I was out of town. Oh, hi. Is it King Rowan? Hi, Miss Pink. What do you think about Sniperwolf? I don't really know her, so I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. I've never met her. I was in a video with her, but anyway, they ended up shooting my part and her part on different days. Even though the way they cut it together made you think we were in the same scene, because it was the same scene. That's movie magic for you. So I'm just answering questions right now for the person who asked what we're talking about. What do you think about India? I don't have any thoughts about it because I've never been there. I do have a couple friends from India and they're quite lovely, really great people, but I've never been to India, so I can't really form an opinion on it. So, what's your favorite t-shirt from the Dhar Mann merch? Are you talking about the new merch that's coming out? I haven't seen all of it, but I like the one that it said, so you see, so you see, so you see, so you see. It was like a repeat down and it was like 3 different colors. Did you get a chance? Oh yes, Sniperwolf has been in 3 of Dhar Mann videos. VS asks, did you get a chance to work with Rachel, the one who played the mom in the unicorn headphones? No, I don't think I've ever worked with her. I did see her last week. Chatted with her for a bit. Okay, so Mona says Shantae has a YouTube channel, but she doesn't frequent it. Katherine, can you do a Q&A with your husband? Oh boy. That might take some, he doesn't like being on camera. It's like I would have to ask for it as a present. Like, he doesn't like when I do this, but he'll be like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'll be like, I want you to edit this video for me. And he'll be like, oh, I thought you could just get something I could buy you. Or, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that will work. We'll see. We'll see. What made you become a YouTuber, Katherine? Am I a YouTuber? I didn't even know I was a YouTuber. I mean, I know I put things on YouTube, but I didn't know that made me a YouTuber. I just wanted to share my knowledge. I just wanted to help people. Are you going to make any merch? I have a merch line. Angela has some stuff from my merch. Amber has some stuff from my merch store. I'm Kat Norland at Redbubble. Is that my store? Katnorland. I think it's Cat Norland merch at Redbubble. So I have at least 10 different designs, right? Somebody can check it out and let me know. Yes, I've got some fun stuff on there. I like it anyway. Any more Mikey videos coming up? No. Well, at least not that I know. At least not that I'm in. I think he's done a couple without me where it's been school situations where the parent wasn't needed. Hey, Jasleen, I'm doing well. Yes, you are top dog. Yes, you are classed as a YouTuber. Catherine, I do music videos for my channel, and I was wondering if you have any advice for me on my channel, please. Well, what kind of advice do you need? I feel like I'm very unqualified to answer any questions about YouTube because Oh, Orly has stuff from my store too. I did not know that. I did. I don't think you ever told me that. Did you get a chance to meet Rebecca yet? I don't think I've met her. I don't think I've met her. I hope Mikey behaves. Ma'am, I want to work. Please let me know. Stango, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, the link. Oh, you know what? I had the link on my Instagram and I took it off and I put the link up for my webinar last week and I haven't changed it out yet. Sorry. I gotta get back on putting the correct link up. So now what's on my Instagram is a link that goes to a webinar that's already over, so it's not gonna take you anywhere. All right. Okay. Lily's gonna get another tutu dress, maybe. I don't know, Lily, you told me that they're for younger people now. You still wanna wear those tutu dresses? Is it Ishika? Asks me what I'm most afraid of. I'm most afraid of not living up to the potential that I could become. I'm most afraid of not fulfilling the purpose God put me on earth to fulfill. I'm most afraid of not, like, when you get to heaven one day and God shows you, I don't know if this is going to happen or not. He shows you all the things you could have done, all the things you could have been. Excuse me. And you see how amazing things could have been or what you could have done. And you realize you got in your own way. You stopped yourself from having all of those things. You let fear get in your way. You let other people's opinions get in your way. That's what I would be most afraid of, that I didn't do all the things I could have done, but made excuses or let fear stand in the way. Good night, Stephanie. How do we cure racism and bigotry? One person at a time. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a blanket thing you can do that's going to make it go away. But it's all in how you raise people. It's all in how you raise your children. And forgiveness, you know, sometimes maybe we can hold it against a whole race if somebody from that race does something horrific to us. We can blame a whole race for what one or two people from that race have done to us. And it takes a big person to be able to not hold other people from that race as in that kind of light just because someone else did that. Does that sound cryptic? Am I talking in a cryptic kind of way? Let me give you an example. I don't know if I should share this. It's a very personal one, but maybe if it will help, I will share it. Oh, the little one's crying. I'm from Minnesota, but I live in California currently. Hi, sweetheart. What did he do? What did Timmy do? He's watching something on the TV. Looks like you hit your face. It looks like swollen. Did you hit your face? Oh, he's got your show on. Oh, he's such a thoughtful big brother. You tell Timmy what you want, and he'll put it on for you. Okay. Should I stay on the topic of what I was about to spill, that very personal story? It's not my story to tell. But I'm going to tell it just to kind of show, because I'm talking about not holding other people responsible for what some people do to you. So my dad went through something that was the hardest thing he'd ever been through in his life. My dad was driving with his wife of 7 years, who was 9 months pregnant. He were in a little VW Bug, and a gravel truck ran a stop sign and crushed the car. My dad lost his wife, and they were not able to save the baby. So he lost his wife and his baby in the same day. My dad almost died. The steering wheel came into him. His ribs are crushed, heart damage. So he just lost everything. When he gets out of the hospital, he decides to go for a lake. I think it was around, go for a lake. He decides to go for a walk around a lake. I think it was Lake Calhoun. I think this was in the 60s, maybe late 60s, I don't know, early 70s. There was still a lot of racial tension, a lot of civil rights stuff going on. My dad's this little white guy, can't be more than 5'5", 125 pounds, maybe 5'4". He decides to go for a walk around the lake to contemplate losing his family. I don't know why I'm tearing up. It didn't happen to me. And I think why I'm getting emotional about it is because it still bothers my dad. Like, I don't know, 50 years later, I still see him stressed up and biting his knuckles and having flashbacks of what happened. So he's walking around the lake. And this group of black guys comes up to him. Hey, Whitey, what are you doing here? And I don't know what he said. I'm going for a walk or whatever. And they said, what time is it, Whitey? So he looks at the clock and he tells them, oh, it's 10 p.m. or something. You know there's no whites allowed on this side of the lake this time of the day or this time of night or past a certain hour. I don't remember. And these guys just pound on my dad, who's just like not even, like, I don't even think his ribs are healed yet from the car crash. And they just beat him to a pulp and I don't know, he loses his glasses, they break his glasses. Thankfully, he was able to run away. But the beautiful thing is, although that terrible thing happened, and obviously I'm not getting into the details, he never taught my brother and I, oh, be careful around black people, or oh, be scared, or they might hurt you, or they might beat you up. He never let what happened to him, change who he was as a person or hold it against anyone else. And I just think that's a great example of how one person, you know, my dad could have said, you know, be wary around them, be scared around them, or if you see a crowd of black people, you know, try to go cross the other side of the street. He never taught us anything like that. And I think that's how, you know, racism can be cured is one person at a time, teaching you that everybody's equal, that everybody's valuable, and not basing your opinion on an entire, you know, race of people based on something that happened to you personally. And at the worst possible time, after you just have lost your wife and baby, and you almost died, to have something like that happen where you barely, like, where you almost die just because you're supposedly in the wrong place at the wrong time. Guys, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Mommy, Dad, to go back.
Okay, you can say hi to people while I'm
Hey, what time? Oh, hey, what time is it? It's Jimmy Talk time. Hey, guys. Alright, so thank you for the millions of views on my latest video. Thank you for the millions of views on my video. It's been a long journey. Make sure to watch my blue video, then watch the second one, and then watch the third one. Actually, watch the teaser trailer. You might know the blue story in front of me. Hey, Roblox. Where was the Super Dog series? No, we're not gonna make the Super Dog series ever again. Wait, we saw evidence of you, Timothy. We saw evidence, and we saw you delete your videos. I'm sorry, but Super Dog didn't exist. But I have some good news. Maybe Super Boss is canceled too. I don't know. Super Dog isn't real. It was just a silly old idea in my head. But thank you for the millions of views. I will make more content of ice cream. That's the Timothy. That's the Timmy time. Hey, what time is it? It's Timmy time. That's my new theme song.
Okay. All right, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
The light hit me.
The light hit you. I'm back. Oh, I'm looking a mess. I gotta like buy some, what's it called? Waterproof mascara. That would be a good investment, considering how much they have
This
me.
sponsor is
Oh, we have a sponsor?
Cheerios. What glue just saying? Can help with heart attacks.
Thank you, Timmy.
You're welcome.
Okay. Where were we? Okay. So you didn't expect that answer when you asked me about how to get rid of racism, did you? Okay. Let's see what you guys have said. Have you ever played a principal in Dhar Mann? No. Have you ever been to Disney World? Yes, twice. And Disneyland, I think at least twice. Miss Pink, I don't have a favorite actor. I love everybody. I've mentioned like ones that I think are really excellent at what they do. Sniperwolf was she's in 4 videos. The 4th was a small cameo with the spoiled birthday car. She wore a red dress. I don't remember that one. How does it feel to be a regular actress on Dhar Mann? I love it. I love it. Positive in Dhar Mann videos, positive in her channel. Awesome work. Thank you, Mr. Black Shadows. Steph, you're funny. I've noticed there's one Dhar Mann actor who will always play a mean person. It's Michael Vaccaro. Yes, I've never seen him play a nice role. And to juxtapose that, you've got Ricky Yvette Westmoreland, who's never played a mean character. So you've got one who's always been bad and one who's always been good. Okay, let's go and see your questions. Oh, Auntie Katherine, someone's calling me. Let's see. Oh, Timmy. Timmy's cute and sweet. Thank you, Jasleen. Denise, Stony, hi, how are you? King Smoke. Thank you. Blake, is Michael a nice guy in real life? I think so. He's like always joking around. He's always like, he's kind of a sarcastic kind of dude. Thank you, Editing Lakes. Ma'am, you are having lots of fans all over the world. Well, do you want to meet all of them one day? Oh my gosh, that would be kind of epic, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of crazy. I love hearing your stories. Thank you, King. Is it Javi? I'm not sure if I said that right. Roman Reigns says, dang, that's messed up. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see. Hugs to you and your dad. Thank you. I've been feeling some kind of way lately. Just, losing 8 people in the last 13 months. And they're all younger than my dad. And I just feel like, I don't know if there's, you just never know when someone's going to pass. But lately I've been feeling like a strong pull, like I got to make the most of every moment with my parents. Because I don't know, they're both already older than everybody who I've lost in the last year. So it's tough because I live in California and they live in Minnesota, and that's like 2,000 miles away. That's like a 3-day drive. Obviously flying would be better, but I can't get Eli to wear a mask. I can't get my 3-year-old to keep a mask on. There's no way he would keep it on for 4 hours, 3 hours on a flight. So we would have to drive, and my goodness, I don't want to drive there in the winter, and the snow and the ice. Okay, so let's, oh, Elena, thank you for sending me a little gift. Look at that pretty unicorn. I appreciate it. Okay, so we've got, okay, let's look at these messages. Oh, we've got someone from Brazil. Hey, Marco. Do you watch Colebrook High? I've seen a couple episodes, but I haven't watched the whole thing like my husband has. Edith, we got kind of deep on here. I don't know if you may have to go back and watch it. Blake, I think my top 3 favorite actors are you, Ayden, and Shantae. Oh, very cool. How would you go about dealing with people who are controlling? I would try to not have a relationship with people who are controlling. But you'll have to be more specific. If you want more specific advice, you're going to have to be more specific about the situation, because a blanket statement doesn't always help you if I don't know the exact details of what's going on. Oh, Nair, thank you. He says he loves Timmy and the spiritual talk. I'm sorry your father went through that. I dated a guy who self-harmed. How did I still love him? Yeah, that would be very hard to deal with. Hey, Edith. How did you get through that? How did you get through dating someone who was harming themselves? Lily, as a child, have you ever had a swimming pool in your backyard? No. No. No one had a swimming pool in their backyard in the trailer court. Wasn't that kind of thing. That was like our version of the ghetto. Nobody had money for a pool. Well, you don't even own the plot of land you're on when you're in a trailer court. You pay for your plot of land. You rent it. How would you go about dealing with people who are controlling? Oh, I already read that one. Okay. Why did you post an old interview and not a new one? I meant to put that up after we did it, and then I forgot. And I realized, there's a lot of people who didn't see it before. So I didn't think there was any harm in putting up an old interview because many people didn't see it. So I know you're only the second person who said you saw it. So there might have been 30, 40, 50 more who didn't see it. And you know, I have some old films I'm thinking about putting up that are, would you guys want to see like a short film that I've been in that's like 10 or 15 years old of what I was like back then? Oh, Angela, thank you for the gift. You're so sweet. I think it's okay to put up old stuff sometimes because then people get to see who you used to be. You know, a lot of people assume Dhar Mann is like my only acting job, but I was in like 150 other projects. Hey, Brittany. Before I started working on Dhar Mann, I mean, I'd been acting like 18 years or more before I started acting in Dhar Mann. So it's interesting sometimes. You know, I've put up a couple of my old things and people are shocked. Like one of them I had a swear word in it and they were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe a Dhar Mann actor swearing. But I've had a lot of roles that are interesting. Okay, so we've had a few people say yes, they want to see the older films. So I think it's okay to put up older interviews, older films. I don't know if you guys saw, I put up a footage of an interview I did from like 10 or 12 years ago. And I was like so soft-spoken and so like timid and shy. I didn't have the confidence that I have now. I don't know if any of you guys saw that one, that interview I put up where I was kind of like far away. I don't know if I was wearing like a dark gray sweater. I don't know if anyone saw that. Well, some people did. Okay, could you guys afford a tutu dress? They cost $150. Yes, but why? Oh, Brittany, thank you for the gift. Aw, look, 3 of you guys sent me love gifts. Thank you. I don't see the point in spending that kind of money on a dress for a growing child who's going to grow out of it in 3 to 6 months. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm better at managing money than that. I don't know what the point is. That would be a waste to me. Okay. Yes, we'd like to see those old films of you. Oh, Elena was at a concert on Friday. Awesome. What did you go see? Roman likes Coco Melon. Just kidding. I can't even get my 3-year-old to watch Coco Melon anymore. Katherine, how are you? I'm doing well. Orly says, I'm sorry that happened to your father, sending hugs from New York. Thank you. I need to go back home and hug my dad. So my mom tells me every now and then she'll see him like stressed out and like biting his knuckles until they're all calloused. And she'll ask him what's going on and he's remembering that time. It was so traumatic for him. So yeah, still has PTSD about that. Okay, what do we got here? Blake says he's been acting since 2014. Why hasn't Elijah been in a new Dhar Mann video? Dhar Mann videos need real babies, not fake props. I haven't seen them do any story with like a toddler. So, I don't know. I mean, I know Ruben knows Eli's available, but I think it's, you know, it's super hard to deal with children on set because you know, they move so fast and they shoot so fast, and to get him to do, to get a 3-year-old to do anything is pretty tough. They say you should never work with children or animals. Okay. What role will you play in the upcoming Dhar Mann video? So the one I shot last week, I'm playing a teacher. And the one I'm shooting next week, I'm playing a mom. Elizabeth asks, LOL, it would be nice to see that old interview of you being shy. I can't imagine you ever being shy and soft-spoken. You're so inspiring. I love you. It's up. It's up on my channel. I don't know if anyone knows what it's called. They can type it in here. They can type it in here and tell us what it's called so we can find it. Okay. Love from India, Vanshika says. We've got Anzanaya. Did I say that right? Anzana, maybe? Okay. Nayer says, does that mean more than a job to you? If why, yes, thank you. Oh, does acting mean more than a job to you? It used to mean everything to me. That was like my whole, like, I felt like it was my whole calling and like purpose. Oh, you know what I was doing? Galling. I was putting goal with galling. I was putting, so it was my whole goal in life, my whole calling. As a matter of fact, the crazy thing is, it went to be my everything to kind of now it's moved into my, as it's a job. But it's a good job. It's not my everything anymore. I feel like my heart and my passion it's always been poetry, number one. Number one. Acting has been number two. But now I think acting is moving to position number 3 because I have a bigger passion to help you guys to be, I don't know what I want to call it, the self-help industry, but to be like a motivational speaker and a motivational teacher. I feel like that has taken position number 1 now. Maybe poetry has moved to 2 and acting has moved to number 3, or maybe they're tied. But acting went from being like everything to now I just want to help people. And if I can do that through acting, awesome. If I can do that through my poetry, awesome. But yeah, I think I want to write some prose books too. Okay, Colin wants to see if I saw his comment. Okay, let me go back up. Okay, let's see. Growing up, did you have Dolce and Gabbana? I don't even have that now. I don't even think I even had ever heard of it when I was growing up. Okay, is that the real Elizabeth Lamboy Wilson in the chat? I don't know. I don't know if it's the real one. We went to see La Fontaines, a Scottish band. I've heard of them. Look out for their song, Bonnie, Scotland. We have a celebrity in our presence. Love from India. Okay. Babies and toddlers are difficult to work with. Plus, they can only work certain minutes a day due to child labor laws. Exactly. I think, Mona, a baby can only be on set 1 hour of the day. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're technically only allowed to be on set for like 1 hour. So when we're there 12 hours or 14 hours, you have to design the whole day around that baby's schedule, and it's just a whole different way of shooting. So that's probably why they don't do it very often. Okay, so Via says, have you heard of Avery White? No. Should I? Blake, you see, when I was in high school, my drama teacher didn't give me a big part in shows because of my disability. He always put me in the ensemble. Blake, do you think you could have done a big part? Do you think he judged you incorrectly? Do you think he should have given you a chance? Do you think you would have been able to handle it and that you just didn't get a fair chance? Or did you think he was right in doing that? Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Okay, Colin says, to answer your question, I was just there for him. I told him if he harms himself, he's harming me and his friends and his family, and he got help and he's better. We're better. So you're still together? Are you still together? Okay. Yes, Pat Jones, it's me, watching my favorite Dhar Mann actress. Oh. Okay, Pat Jones. Katherine, was that the real? Okay, we already answered that. When I first watched Dhar Mann, dang, that tall lady. Good acting. Which tall lady? Are you talking about the episode where it's a super, super tall big lady and she's eating a candy bar and Dhar Mann is in that episode? Or is there a different tall lady? Let me know. Planned any presents yet for Christmas? We've got presents for the children. But not really for each other. You know what Rob did? He ordered something he wanted from Amazon. And he gives me this Amazon box yesterday and he said, "This is what you got me for Christmas." So he handed me the box. So I guess I'm just gonna wrap it and give it to him for Christmas from me that he bought himself. We do that sometimes. It sounds funny, but then you always know you're getting what you want and not what somebody thinks you might want. So I need to think of something. I need to get myself something good and say, "Here, this is from you for Christmas for me." I haven't done that yet. It's kind of funny, but you know, if you want to get what you want. Okay, Steph, get some rest. Get some rest. Let's see. We've got a question from Azana. I'm so sorry for butchering your name. To whom Samond dog belongs to? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Give candy to toddlers. That's good for about 5 minutes till it kicks in. Is it true that there is one more Dhar Mann film with Carl Judie that was never released until now this Thanksgiving? How did you hear that bit of dirt? How did you hear that bit of dirt? I don't even know this. I mean, I may know it now. I don't know how you know that, but I think you might be right. I think you might be right. Is it going to be released Thanksgiving? I don't know. I don't know, but I heard Dhar's got some crazy stuff up his sleeve for this Thanksgiving special, so you never know. That would be epic. We're all going to be bawling our eyes out, right? Blake Vegas story sounds like a plot for a Dhar Mann film. I'm not familiar with that story. Lily's talking about a cringy fast food ad she saw. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Carrie Troyer. Or Lisa says, Katherine, you are great at helping people, especially me. Thank you. Thank you for even wanting to reach out and make a difference, you know? Mona says, I'm looking forward to Dhar's Thanksgiving special on Tuesday. I can't watch live. I'm teaching virtually at the same time. It'll be later. It'll be just as good. You just won't see all the crazy comments, chats going up. Who does that Saman dog belong to? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Nana's here. Oh my goodness. Mona, Gina, the tall girl. Oh, who dumps her boyfriend for her height. Okay. That's right. There was a tall girl episode. I've never met her, and I don't think I've seen her in anything else. Have you guys seen her in anything else? Because I'm short compared to you. Are you saying you're short compared to me? I'm like 5'4.5". On a good day, 5'4 3/4. Will you be playing a mean teacher or a nice one in the upcoming video? I guess you're just gonna have to wait and see. Edith is back. Pat Jones, that's the point. It could be a Dhar Mann film based on my story. Oh, wait, did you inbox me about that? I don't know about the dog. I worked with the dog once. Did you see the dog I worked with on the homeless? When I was homeless and this guy didn't want to share his sandwich with the dog. The dog was actually a three-legged dog. Had 3 legs and it wasn't even a trained movie dog. My friend Shannon wants another Scottish food box sent to her. She loved the last one I sent. That sounds very familiar. Okay. Pat Jones says, Katherine, why are the white blinds in the Dhar Mann apartment messed up? Can you ask them to fix it? It makes the video jarring to watch sometimes. They're way too long. Are you talking about in the poor apartment? I think you're talking about the blinds in the poor apartment. Yeah, they're always messed up. I haven't shot in the poor apartment in a couple of months, a few months maybe. You know, part of the problem is we don't have an on-set, full-time set designer to look at those things. And the crew is already doing like everything, like trying to get the lights, trying to get the actors, trying to shoot it properly. They're, like, each person has multiple jobs, and I think a lot of times the props and, well, we do have a set prop person now, but they're not on set when we shoot. They prepare the props in advance, and so then for the day of the shoot, they just leave like the box of props labeled with whatever that shoot is for the day, so then we know we have all the props in a box we need for that day and we're not scrambling. But there's not a set design. However, we did have we had a full cast and crew for the feature film. It's the first time we ever had a set designer. We had a set designer, prop people, we had the grips, we had the gaffers, we had makeup people, we had wardrobe people, we had like the full, like a regular big budget Hollywood feature film. Dhar went all out for the feature film. You guys are gonna love it. It looks so good. They rented this camera that was, I could be getting these numbers totally wrong, but I think the camera with the lenses that they rented to shoot the Dhar Mann's first feature film, I think it was like, I could be totally wrong. The camera was over $200,000 that they shot on, if you count the camera and the lenses. My numbers could be off. It's been a couple months, but it's pretty crazy. It's going to be beautiful quality that would be able to compete with any, well, maybe not the multi-million-dollar Hollywood movies, but it's going to look good. You guys are going to love it tomorrow. It's going to be is it tomorrow? No, Tuesday. It's premiering Tuesday, I think. She spelled my name wrong. Okay. Okay, yes, Colin is still together with, okay. I'm glad you're helping each other through it. Carrie's here. We're still together. Will you be playing a mean teacher? Okay, we answered that. You're a great actor. Keep it up. Anyway, when is Thanksgiving? I don't know if anybody else, I think America's the only place that celebrates it, but for us it's on Thursdays. Is it? I think it's the 4th Thursday of every November. Okay, so I remember Gina having a bit of an accent in the Dhar Mann video. Who's Gina? Are we still talking about the tall girl? I don't know. Will the Dhar Mann full feature film look different? Yes, I just explained that. Will it be shot more like a movie? Yes. With different camera angles? Yes. Or will it be just a really long episode of Dhar Mann? Hopefully you guys will tell me it looks beautiful, like a real feature film. Remember the Height Convo channel we had last week? Yes. She was doing an American accent, but I feel like she wasn't American, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, Rob buying an Amazon gift for himself. That sounds familiar. Yes, it does, doesn't it? I told you we had some similarities there in the past. Have you heard of Christian King? He played Ayden's younger brother in one episode. I have not. Yes, The Poor Man's Apartment. Yeah. Do you like acting? Was it your dream? Yes, it was. It was my dream. It was my dream for like 20 years. That dream is just shifting and altering and moving, and now I want to help more people through my books and my courses. Man, I'm so excited for my online course. There's a few of you on here that are going to be doing it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Hopefully you guys will love it as much as I've been working on it since 2017. That's when I wrote the first draft of it. And then 2018, I got the vision to turn that into a course and spent all of like 2019 writing, and 2020, I filmed it. Did I start filming in 2020? Yeah, started editing in 2021. It's been a long process. And I'm getting some good feedback, so yay. Okay, Thais Arjun. I'm having an exam tomorrow. I wasted my whole sem Playing video games. I'm depressed. I feel like ending my life. Help me. Oh no, please. Okay, what we think is a big deal right now in the moment is not. You do not end your life just because you might fail a test or you might fail a semester. You've got your entire life ahead of you. And you know, some of the greatest, most accomplished, smartest people in the world have failed tests, have failed semesters, have failed college, have dropped out of college. Do not let something like that make you want to end it all. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. This will pass. You will get over it. It's not, you know, if it's not going to matter 5 years from now, it shouldn't matter now. If it's not going to matter 10 years from now, it shouldn't matter now. And in the grand scheme of things, if it's not going to matter in eternity, it shouldn't matter now. So do the best you can. You know, use this as a lesson you've learned. You learned a lesson that, you know, you need to balance out your free time, your video game time with your studies. But even if you fail, you can do it again. You have a chance to do it over. And even if you can't do it over for whatever reason, it's not worth ending it all, as you say. It really isn't. You know, I don't know if any of you guys watched the live stream last night of the Beatles tribute band that I went to. I live streamed it. I didn't get all the songs, but I thought it'd be fun for you guys to see. The guy who plays the drums, he's the leader of that Beatles band, Vintage Fab. And I know I'm over my time, and I normally only go 60 minutes, but I'm going to tell you this because I think this is important for you who's thinking, you know, I want to end it all because of this. He was, I don't know if he was a teenager or in his early 20s at the time, but he was so distraught about something going on in his life. He had climbed up a tree and he was sitting on that tree thinking about ending his life. And it just so happened that the devil had planted something there just in case he would take that chance. This is my friend Darren. And there was a noose tied to that tree. Does anyone know what a noose is? It's a rope that you hang yourself with. And he took that noose and he put it around his neck. And he was going to jump off that tree and choke himself to death and strangle himself. But he heard this voice. He heard this voice, and it was just one sentence. And the voice said something like, "But what happens later?" Or "What about your future?" It was something like that. It was like just this one sentence. But what about later? But what about your future? And that made him take the noose off of his neck because he said, you know what? I want to know what is going to happen in my future. I want to know what the rest of my life is going to be about. My life is painful right now. Yeah, my life sucks right now. And you may be feeling that. Your life is painful. Your life sucks. You may fail. But he wanted to find out about his future. You know what? He ended up marrying the woman of his dreams. He ended up having jobs that he loved, editing movies. He got to play Darth Vader full time for these different shows. And his dream was always to be a drummer and have a Beatles band, and he did it. He did everything that he dreamed about. But you know what? If you stop yourself now and you give up on yourself now, just because something is tough for you right now, you're never going to know. What about later? What about your future? What about your dreams? If they haven't come to pass yet, guess what? They're never going to come to pass if you end it all. So guys, whatever you're going through, it will pass. Things will get better. Things won't always be hard. So think about your future, think about later, think about what's to come, and don't make a forever decision based on a now problem. Love you guys. Live true, love hard, shine bright. We'll see you next week.